see just how I'm living. You're not happy with life, so you rockin' Reeboks on treetops, getting walk, got a big bands like Sasquatch. Every time you see it, what a no, it's time.
I got that taken to golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No call. I want that caught. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you. Don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look through light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. The ops on IG all the time. I never go live. Wagyu steak, I die. 8 ounce, 255. I can't get funky with.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Just a minute ago, it was Jameis Winston leading his Buccaneers out of the tunnel. They're on their feet here in Tampa as the Bucs get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
First carry for Royce Freeman. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And the Broncos get there and take him down. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one of the opening drives.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie that stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, he might be a little jumpy as well. Might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
Leopard! No, check, Patriot!
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Finding some room at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Green 39! Green 39!
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Now they'll run it on the toss. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one 28 yards on the ground. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
They'll look to throw now on first down. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there. His 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Given free on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Ready. Black 22.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. The open man is Smith. A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down. Spectacular catch turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3 and out. They go play action here on first down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Ready? Black 22.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays. When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is, how physical is the offensive line? Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And that's caught inside the 30. A huge play there for Denver. 51 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10.
Lucky 56.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great play there with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Broncos will extend their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front, because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. And he's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
As we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
A second down throw for Winston. It's his running back, Melvin Gordon. There goes Melvin Gordon. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And he's going to find his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down.
Ready. Watch 25.
On 3rd down, Winston into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. Back to throw now in his own end zone. Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And Tampa Bay trots out. Out there now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the inning, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football.
Really? Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. It's really been a blistering start to the season for him so far. He's on pace to blow past 1,000 yards. The good receivers, it's interesting, though. You put extra coverage on them, they probably view that as a challenge. All right, I'm going to go after this. You put one guy on them, then they feel disrespected, and they want it to. So how do you cover it?
You're exactly right. That's an insult, right? Especially the year that he's having. But I just have to go ahead and I'm not going to insult him. I'm going to respect him. I'm sending as many people as possible. But one of the reasons he's having this type of a start is despite that type of coverage, he finds a way to what we call uncover late. Ball's thrown, even though there's coverage there, he's the one who can go up and come down with it, finds a way to get to the football.
And the offensive line has given them time in the pocket to have that uncovering late. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. And they'll run it here. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a 5-yard pickup, but spotted a few chain links short of the first, so a little bit of decision time here coming up on fourth down. Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
Green 39! Green 39!
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They opt to go for it, and they get it. 1st and goal after a pickup of 5.
Deep in the red zone. This was 4-down territory from the start. And here, they won't wind up with a touchdown, but they do get a great consolation prize as they convert and pick up a first down inside the 5.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. A great effort there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. McManus's point after is good. And this is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it. Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for it. The offense trots back onto the field, and we take an in-depth look at Royce Freeman. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that's going to make it 4th. Down. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's in his own second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, That's all you're looking for, but he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Going for the deep ball. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up second and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 52 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Broncos will extend their lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense trots back onto the field, and we take an in-depth look at Royce Freeman. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
Ready. Black 25.
Jameis now on first down. That's caught by Howard. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Ready. Blue waiting.
A first down throw for Winston. He finds Howard complete. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Ready. Blue waiting.
From the gun, Winston. He's going to let it go deep, and he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. In for the score, and the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left to try here for the extra point. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead's down to 2 scores now at 16. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. On the return, it's Washington. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And Denver getting set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to walk one deep left side here. And this is going to be intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll start things out with an AFC North matchup. Baltimore heading over to take on Cleveland. And it's the Ravens who have the lead as they play the second quarter. Jimmy Garoppolo with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head to Foxborough to check on the Patriots at home at Gillette Stadium. And you can see they trail the visiting Buffalo Bills in that ball game. Andrew Luck has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. 10-7, your final. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kendall Beckwith coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
No. Check. Patriot.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. Dancing away at the 35. Now he opts for the spin. And out across midfield down to the 45. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
Right back to him on first down. Flashed the stick skills on that run, but then stopped shy of the 35. 8 yards up. The pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. This is McCaffrey. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice game there. This one goes for 20.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the third quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And this one through the uprights and good. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
This is Gordon on the dump off. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
No, check. Patriot.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He sets the fire deep. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And they'll go on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. He'll look to throw. Looking long for Thomas. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
They'll try and throw for it here. And it is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line.
Ready? White 25. Let me go.
On play action, Winston. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Khalil Mack in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Khalil Mack in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, he's got a big leg, and when everything comes together, he can certainly hit from long range, but this one's going to come up just a little bit short. A very good effort, though.
He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. Mike 96. Mike 96. Mike 99 Philly. Here we go. Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D. Under 10. Under 10. 10.
Back now in Tampa. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great play there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. McManus's point after is good. So they went to the ground game on third, hoping to pick up the first. They also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having to pass block. All right, you're looking at what it is, third down. They don't care that it's third and whatever. They figure they're going to throw the ball. And when you call a running play, I think you energize them. I think you juice them up, because I haven't met an offensive lineman yet that likes to pass block more than they like to run block. And they opened up some nice holes there for him, and he took it to the house.
Winston now to throw on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Throwing again. Winston on 2nd and 10. Smith catches left side. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Bucs on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Ready. Blue ready. Where's that? 56, Mike.
Working out of the gun. Winston. And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
4 down. Here we go. Check it, boss. Check the call. Motion. Gun.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Now they'll run it on the toss. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with third down looming.
No. Check. Patriot.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And the penetration too strong. He won't make it back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 4th down.
No. Check. Patriot.
He'll drop to throw. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches, as a general rule, that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are. Seeing them play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And this time, not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
Well, that's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there. His 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Broncos add on. And, partner, are you kidding me? With this game that he's having, we are in uncharted waters like we've never seen before.
Just think, if he keeps every football from all the touchdowns scored today, does he need to build a new trophy room at home?
Yeah. A couple trophy rooms. Maybe a whole home for trophy rooms.
What a phenomenal performance, and I'll guarantee you he's going to reward the rest of the offensive unit after this as well for helping him get to this number.
He better. This is just unreal.
Ready. Blue ready.
1st down, Winston. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slam. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Denver getting set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself. But you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Leopard! No, check, Patrick!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And a short gain down to about the 33. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field.
Back 99 Philly, here we go! All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Easy. Ready, blue ready. Let's go.
One last shot now for Winston. And, Jameis intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 46. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.